Welcome back to News and Views with me, Salai Lomakwidire on Salam Media. We still pushing it with you from 8 right until 10 a.m. This is going to be the norm every Wednesday starting today, if you just joined us. And the next story takes us deep into the world of sports, where the intersection of politics and athleticism has once again made headlines. Today, we are discussing an incident involving an Israeli soccer player who goes by the name of Jehezkel, who recently found himself at the center of a controversy that transcends the boundaries of the playing field. Jehezkel, a player of Turkey's Antalyaspor, made waves on Sunday night when he scored a goal and openly dedicated it to the Israeli forces in Gaza. This bold gesture did not go unnoticed, triggering a swift response from the Turkish Minister of Justice, who announced that the player's prosecution. Uh, the Turkish government also launched an investigation leading to Ezekiel's subsequent detention and questioning in Antalya. Reports emerging on Sunday indicate that he has been released by the Turkish court and is said to be deported from the country. To help us dissect the layers of this complex and sensitive story, we are privileged to have Dr. Halim Gençoğlu. He's a Turkish historian currently working at Wits University. Doctor, just can you maybe just well, firstly, welcome to Salam Media and thank you for joining us. This incident involving Jehezkel has sparked significant controversy, I'm sure, in Turkey. Can you maybe provide, some background and insight into, how this tragedy, I must say, was first received by the Turkish public?
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Uh, yes, this is actually not just happen now. I mean, we mustn't just consider that this football player created the issue at the moment, but this is a kind of accountability and hatred in the Turkish law. I mean, you cannot implement such a attitude or propaganda against peace in the country. And we all know that Turkey supports Palestine actually for years and years. So that's why we are actually very proud of what today South Africa is doing.
Mm.
So his attitude, I mean, unfortunately, is quite negative attitude against peace, and not just in Palestine, in the world. While 24,000 people are just killing here, and you are just showing something else against Palestinians. Of course, it means football player is supporting Israel state. So it's not acceptable. But Turkey didn't put him in jail. Actually, they just it is a quite official process to take him to police station to ask him what was his intention to do it. So they asked him why he did such a wrong attitude at the football area, and then he say, of course he refused it. He didn't want to say he's supporting Israel, but then Antalya support, they didn't want to work with him anymore. They just sent him back to Israel. This is the summary of the, I think, incident.
Mm, mm. No, definitely. I'm trying to, understand if, this case by itself, is there some precedent to it? Is the stance taken, against, this Israeli player Sakiv, something that has happened before, in maybe Turkish sports field where a political statement like that one was punished harshly by the Turkish authorities.
But this is not a punishment. If he was Turkish man, it would be the same. If a Turkish man, a Turkish citizen, does the same thing, he would actually face the same reality. So it didn't happen because he was Israeli.
Mm.
So you cannot create any hatred and hostility against any, especially in this tension in Turkey. Turkish people are very sensitive about Palestine issue, not just because, of course, there is a genocide there, but you must remember that 100 years ago, Palestine was ruled by Ottoman Empire, just before British Empire took over. And they used the same flag. They were kind of actually province of Turkey. So many Turkish descendants, they lost their ancestors there against British war during the First World War. So this is we don't usually, analysts and historians in Europe, they don't understand this part of the link actually between Turkey and Palestine. It is a very important thing for his Turkish citizens. So of course, that's one thing. But other thing, as I just mentioned, this is a law in Turkey. You cannot create hostility and any hatred. It is exactly what he did, the Israeli football players did. So that's, as I said, I mean, if he was not even Israeli, even if he was even, let's say Syrian refugee, it would be the same. So Turkish authority, it's nothing to do with Turkish authority. It's all about actually Turkish law. I mean, I am sure it is very similar in South Africa as well. I mean, you cannot create, propaganda against. I mean, this create because kind of hostility, and it's actually divided nations and people, ideas. It's ideological propaganda, we call it actually. So that's the thing. I mean, it's not acceptable at all.
I know you say this stance taken by Turkish authorities it's not based on whether or not Sakif Jehezkel is Israeli or not. Even if he was Turkish, he'll still get the same treatment. But I'm pretty sure, looking at the current state of affairs, it does send a very strong message about the stance of Turkey when it comes to the oppression of the Israelis by occupation Israeli. Can you maybe shed some light on in the new year 2024 the role that Turkey plans to play in supporting Palestine and ultimately putting Israel to justice for the crimes committed there?
Yes, absolutely. In 2024, not just 2024, until Palestine gets free, Turkey is going to fight against this discrimination what actually Israel state creates in the Middle East. As I said, if you check Turkish news now about Palestine, you will see all of them actually support Palestinians. Not just this, but humanitarian aid. They are now at the edge of Gaza in Egypt side. They are waiting to help the needy in Palestine. Even in South Africa, we gathered some donation to send the needy in South Africa, from South Africa to Palestine. So this is a policy in Turkey. But I am very happy to be in South Africa, especially these days. South African authorities and all nation almost, they support Palestinians, but they are very they have serious consciousness about this occupation. So, I gave many interviews in Turkish news as well in these days. What's happening in South Africa, how South Africa supports Palestine. So, as I said, this will continue until the end. I mean, until Palestine gets freedom. And I think all at the end of the victory, uh, I am sure, like just happened in South Africa in 1994,
Mm,
all nations like South Africa, particularly South Africa, Turkey, and all others like Malaysia, Mozambique, they all support Palestine. They will actually get victory. They actually prove they will prove their democracy. They are real. This shows actually us that they are a real state, and this will also show us that big powers in Western world like France, England, America. I am sorry, but they are bankrupt. They are morally bankrupt while they are supporting genocide in Israel, and they will also get very bad response at the end of this political war. Let's say it is a kind of political war between right and wrong.
mm, mm. No, definitely. Thank you so much for joining us, Doc. I think this was a really interesting stunt, and I think a very well received stunt, I must say, from Turkish authorities. And we'll keep forward, looking into the story. But for now, I would like us to leave it there, and we'll chat to you soon. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's pleasure. From the river to sea, Palestine will be free. Thank you.
Inshallah, I mean. Yeah, there you have it. I think we really downplay just how important and the intersection between sports and politics. A lot of people like saying we shouldn't involve sports and politics, and one should exist without the other. They should be mutually exclusive of each other, but you just can't. You just can't. Sports is it, it's a matter of national pride, and I think every sports person and every sports national team or club ultimately represent the flag that they bear, from the country that they're from. So the intersectionality between sports and politics will always be there. That's why for me, I think the stance taken by Turkish authorities is a really brilliant one, and we hope more of this can be seen, and also there should be exclusion. I think South Africa is a perfect example of how exclusion from the international community can further put pressure, can ultimately put pressure into a regime that's very oppressive. So yeah, I think this was a brilliant stance for me, personally. But I think you can also send us your views. Do you think sports and politics are mutually exclusive? Is there intersectionality? Should there be sectionality? Can one be seen without the other? Give us a call. Our number is 0116-800-355, or you can send us a WhatsApp on 061-766-0355. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking matric results 2023. The results are coming out tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Today we'll be attending an event hosted by the Ministry of Education, where all the stats and all the top learners are going to be announced there. But we're going to be talking about what should matriculants expect. If you have a matriculant at home, I think this is the best time to call them, to sit by the radio or the computer or the laptop or the phone, whatever device you're listening to us from, and let them listen a bit on what they should expect. And maybe you can tell us about your matric results, memories. Where were you when you got your results? What were your reactions? Were you nervous? I remember I was very scared. I pulled uh, an isolation stunt. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I just locked myself in my room, and just waited for one of my parents to tell me that I've passed. So yeah, tell us about your memories. Where were you when you got your matric results? What was the anxiety like? I'm sure it was pretty scary, and also the prospect of leaving school. How was that for you? I will be chatting more on that with an education expert. But for now, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll see you after this.